Hi, scholars. Happy Wednesday. Mrs. Casper here to continue our discussion from Monday about the story we read together. Now and Ben, The Modern Inventions of Benjamin Franklin. Again, if you have not read the story yet, go back and listen to the video on Monday so you can have some great ideas for today's writing assignment. So our focus question for today is, how did Benjamin Franklin's inventions make life easier? So before we can write to answer this question, we're going to have to think about what were some of the inventions made by Benjamin Franklin. So I went through the story and I wrote down some of the inventions that he came up with that we'll discuss today. One was bifocals, electricity, the grabber, flippers, fireplaces, the rocking chair, and community places like hospitals, the post office, and the fire station. So we're going to go back in the story. We're going to talk about how these inventions made life easier for people today. So you might want to think about, looking at this paper, what invention you would like to write about and discuss how it made life easier or makes life easier for people today. Or maybe you want to wait until we go back and read the story again and hear why it makes life easier, and then choose which invention after you listen. So I'm going to go back focusing on these inventions and talk a little bit more about how they make life easier for people today. As I said last week, for our writing day, you are going to need a writing paper if you have this printed out. If you cannot get this to print, you can really use any type of paper. It's just easy to use a paper that has the bigger lines to help you make your writing nice and neat. But you can use any paper you have to load up onto Seesaw and share with your teachers. So let's begin by talking about the bifocals that Benjamin Franklin invented. So today, bifocals are very common. Bifocals combine two sets of lenses into one pair of glasses. The bottom lens helps people see near, and the top lens helps people see far. So Ben designed these bifocals for himself after he grew tired of switching between two different pairs of glasses. He wanted to only have to wear one pair of glasses to help him see far and near. The next invention we're going to talk about is electricity. So today our world relies on electricity. And Ben was one of the first scientists who discovered the true nature of electricity and how to use it. He learned that lightning is electricity when he attached a small metal wire to the top of a kite and gathered electricity from a storm cloud. So today we can use electricity for all sorts of things. Musicians use it to make music. It can be used to light up signs outside of restaurants, plug different appliances in your house. The next invention is the grabber. This gadget goes by many names, such as the grabber. Everyone has seen one. It's the long stick that helps grab items from out of reach places. So he's grabbing something really high at the grocery store. Ben invented the original device and called it the long arm because it worked like a very long arm to help him get his books that were up high. The next invention is flippers. So now swimmers and divers use flippers to move faster through the water. Ben invented things even when he was a boy. He was an avid swimmer and built wooden flippers for both his hands and his feet. Next is fireplaces. Now our fireplaces are very efficient and easy to use. Ben improved on old fireplaces of his day when he designed the Pennsylvania fireplace. He built it with iron to contain the heat from a fire long after the logs were burned out. Next, we have the rocking chair. Ben designed many different kind of chairs. One of the rocking chairs he designed had a fan on top, and another one churned butter. Now everyone has seen rocking chairs today. Not many people have ones like Ben had, though. But they still make life easier because they're very comfortable to sit and rock in. Finally, we have communities that Ben helped create. Now, almost every large community includes a library, a hospital, a post office, a fire department, and a sanitation department. Ben lived in a city that had none of these establishments, so he helped organize the first of each. He helped them get going. And now we have them in every community today, which is very helpful. So after hearing about all of his inventions and how they help make life easier for people today, why don't you go ahead and focus on one choice? And I created a sentence starter that may be helpful for you to get started on your writing. I said Benjamin Franklin invented blank. You decide which invention would you like to talk about in your writing. Whatever invention you choose, blank made life easier because. So for example, if I chose bifocals to write about, I could say Benjamin Franklin invented bifocals. Bifocals made life easier because. You tell me why that invention made life easier. Remember, you can choose any invention you like that we talked about. You pick what you want to write about. So after you finish your writing, and remember, if you run out of space and you need to go onto another paper, go ahead, write as much as you can about the invention you choose. But make sure to include an illustration that matches what invention you wrote about. Also in your writing, don't forget about using capital letters to start your sentences. Use those finger spaces in between your words. And make sure you're using punctuation. Include periods at the end of your sentences. Also make sure your writing is nice and neat. And once you're finished, you can upload it onto Seesaw to share with your teachers. All right, I'll see you all Friday. Do a great job. Have fun.